Chris's mom is here too.
Videographer.
And Christopher is somebody that I have known since my very first day in Elmhurst School District. I will always remember the first time that I met Chris when he was in kindergarten at Edison School. And part of the reason I got hired in Elmhurst was really because Chris had started at Edison School and for some of the other kids. And so I feel like his journey has kind of been my journey. And we have learned together over the years so much together with the different teams, you know, the Edison team, just learning about how to make Chris successful in the elementary grades, and then on to the Sandberg team and doing some inclusion in science, and then with the York team and then transition. And Chris graduated a year ago. I'm going to let Chris and Nicole describe to you the process that they're using for communication. Chris has an iPad set up here with a wireless keyboard. So I'm going to let them describe that, and then Chris says he does better with questions. So I have a couple questions I'm going to ask him, but then after that I would love to have you guys ask questions. So, and then he will answer. And he started with an introduction. He has an introduction that this morning he prepared for you. So we don't have the iPad connected to speaker, so we're going to need to listen very closely.
And I can repeat it if I need to. Okay, so.
Hello, my name is Christopher Jorwic. I am 23 years old. When I was 2, I was a smiley, normal kid, and then autism took my smile and my voice. For a long time, I was trapped, but now I communicate through typing. I am happy to be here. I look forward to your questions.
Okay, can everybody hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm Nicole. I'm Chris's sister. I have been his sister his whole life. I'm obviously, I've worked in different environments with people with disabilities, and so Chris and I have always had a different relationship because I can be kind of harder on him than the rest of the family, because I always kind of knew that he could do more. And so in 2006, he started doing something called facilitated communication, which is what you'll see us doing today. And he used it, but not necessarily consistently. He used it kind of more for simple communication. And then there was a movie that came out that some of you might have seen called Wretches and Jabberers. And it's about two older gentlemen that are about 20 years or so years older than Chris, who used facilitated communication and went all over the world kind of meeting different people. And Chris said, and then last August, a specialist from Syracuse University came out. At that point, I was living at home, and Chris said he felt ready. So him and I started typing every day, and he's just blossomed and grown. Facilitated communication works because somebody like Chris and some other people with autism have some motor planning. So when you'll see that I'm going to be holding him about here, and that's just so that all he has to focus on is where his finger goes to type, and you'll see his eyes moving, and he'll correct himself. He's a great speller. He's a better speller than anybody I know. So I think that's probably, if you have any questions about the FC part, I can explain it later, but I think probably the best use of the time is to have Chris's voice be heard, so.
Okay. So if it's okay, I thought maybe we'd ask Chris a little bit about, do you remember back to kindergarten in Edison School and what it was like as a young child at Edison School? And if you don't remember, we'll go on, but do you remember Edison?
I think he's a little nervous. I was going to say.
I do. Remember.
You do remember.
That is where I
that's where you learn. Okay, great.